Hi, Happy New Year. It's the middle of January 2025. It's been probably 2 months since I posted Confessions of a Fleshy Star. This will be episode 8. I'm just going to flow into whatever comes through. Let's see. So it's been 2 months since I've last posted, and I've had a lot of stuff go on in my life. I've been on a lot of journeys and explorations and settling into a higher energy with the year. My husband and I have been on a over 2 month plant and sacred medicine journeys. And here's my cat. Yes, hello. Hi, Deacon. He wants to be in the video too. Hi. Yes, I love you too. So this is Deacon. He's a good boy. So, yes. So starting on 11/11 of last year, I started with a 30-day Bobensana dieta. And Bobensana is the master plant of self-love. And it's so fascinating because where I was at in my life, that was where I wanted to come back to, was like self-love, loving myself more. And so then, after my Bobensana dieta, I started working with Sananga and Hape. And Sananga is, so Bobensana, Sananga, and Hape medicines and grandmother ayahuasca are all from the Amazon. So, oh my goodness. So we worked with Sananga and Hape for a couple weeks after Bobensana. And Sananga is very spicy. They're eye drops that go in your eyes. And traditionally, the Amazonian hunters would use them so that they could see better when they go out hunting. And Sananga is also used with grandmother ayahuasca ceremonies so that you can spiritually see when you're in the medicine. And then Hape is a sacred snuff that you blow up your nose, and it goes into the back of your brain, into your sinus cavities, and it has so many different uses. There's so many different kinds. And so Hape is a mixture of mapacho tobacco and ashes of mapacho tobacco, and then ashes of trees and other herbs and things. So there's so many different kinds of Hape, and it's a sacred medicine. And so all these plant teachers teach you things. So while we were doing Sananga and Hape, we also did some kambo ceremonies. So kambo is a secretion from a frog, which is traditionally found in Brazil. And kambo is good for a number of things too. It has lots of peptides. So like in conventional medicine, they have like peptide treatments, but it's like one at a time, like one peptide. Well, kambo has like hundreds to thousands of peptides, depending on, what part of the secretion and when it was harvested, and a lot of different variables for that. So we did kambo twice. We sat in ceremony with kambo, and kambo is great. So the tribes, they sing to the frogs, and the frogs come down from the trees, and they tie the frogs' little limbs up, and they gently, get the secretion off, but they don't take too much. They are really good with the frogs, and so then they massage them and leave them with secretion so that they, are unharmed, and then they let them go back to their trees, and they're treated with love and reverence, and it's a very beautiful connection. So the frogs are good. They're happy. They're well taken care of in this process. And so for, medicinal use, ceremonial use, Kambo is used to help rid the body of all sorts of things, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. So it's all based on intention of use, and this was part of my husband and I's prescription to like detox our bodies so that we can eventually one day prepare for, having children. Because, I'm 32, and a lot of people, everybody in our society has a toxic load. And so for me, my intention, the first ceremony was to release any repressed emotions, any things in my body that were, they're not supposed to be in there. So there's a purge reading after Kambo. So Kambo is interesting. They do this thing where they like do some burns. I don't know if you can see. Oh. They do, right here. They do these burns on, like for women, traditionally they get a burn from a piece of wood from the Amazon, and they do it on their ankles, and men usually get it on their arms here. And so my first time I did 2 points on my ankle and 1 point on my wrist, and still I have 2 points there. And so when it's your first time, they'll just do like 1 point at a time. So they'll do the points, they'll burn, rub the first layer of the skin off, so it's like creating a little portal. And then the medicine will come, and they'll just do one at a time to see how your body reacts, because everybody is different depending on their toxic load, their health, and it's really good for your immune system too. So we just do one at a time. So the first one went on, and I could feel the oh my goodness, this is all wonky. There we go. I could feel the medicine going on. So what it does is it travels through your lymphatic system to your heart, and then once it gets to your heart, it spreads out and goes where it needs to go. And so for me, my experience, I could feel the medicine burning, like it felt like fiery, like moving up my leg. And then eventually it got to my heart, and once it got to my heart, it felt like restless leg syndrome all over my body. And it was kind of intense at first, and you had to breathe through it. You had to come back to the breath in the present moment. And so it was like a couple minutes of like just this feeling, this restless leg syndrome, and this heat and this like vibration over my body. And sometimes, lots of times, people's faces will change, like your face will like blow up, like you'll kind of have froggy eyes. And so then after the heat, it changed over to the chills. So I got the chills, I had like a blanket on, my teeth were chattering, and I was like kind of rocking back and forth. And then the other points were put on, pardon me. And it was like 30 minutes to an hour while the medicine like collects, because it's sacred medicine and it has an intelligence to it. And so with your intention and the trust of the Kambo medicine, it will go where it needs to go, and it will find the things it needs to find, and it'll expel it. But before the points are administered, you have to drink water. So like you can't drink water for 12 hours before you go. So we do it in the morning. So we just like fast overnight, so then it's not a big deal. And so I had to drink lots of water so that the water with the medicine can find all the things it needs to find, and then you can purge it either with an upper purge or a lower purge. And so, the medicine takes its time, you can feel it moving, and then eventually you'll purge. And so I purged eventually. And I purged a lot. Like my bucket was like 2/3 of the way full, and it was like full of like this deep yellow, and it had like egg, like white chunks in it and little black flecks. And so then afterwards, there's a purge reading, and you get your purge read as to like what organs detoxed, what emotions came out, and other things. And so for my first purge, I had a deep liver purge. That's why it was yellow. And there's emotions like that correspond with that. I think like anger and guilt and something else. I have it all written down. And then my little white, like egg chunk looking things were really repressed emotions that were stuck in there. And I had some froth, which was grief from my lungs. And then I had these little black dots, and they were irregular cells, which could be a number of things. It could be cancer, it could be viruses, irregular cells. So that got out of my body, and that's like, wow, that's exciting. And I felt like $1,000,000 afterwards. I felt like I wanted to go run 6 miles. Like I felt really good. And also, as I was throwing up, it tasted metallic. It tasted so bad. And so I threw up heavy metals from my body, which is like, that's amazing. Really, really amazing. So yeah, I did combo a second time a week later after that, and I had some more like light yellow repressed emotion stuff. So that was great. And so then after our second ceremony, sitting with combo, we sat in ceremony for New Year's with grandmother ayahuasca, and that was really beautiful. It was my first time ever. I'm really grateful that I waited until I was like in my 30s because I could handle that intensity of experience. I have done like psychedelics, like mushrooms, like over 30 times in my life, and they're very different. Grandmother has her own intelligence, and my experience was really spiritual. My intention was to come back to the divinity within myself, and that was really powerful. With grandmother ayahuasca ceremony, you show up and ground into your space, and they administer Sananga and Hape to really come back into center, come back into yourself. And we all spoke our intentions out loud. And then we went and drank first cup. And as the medicine was settling in, you could feel it coming on. It takes about like an hour, just like, ingesting mushrooms. And it was, so my experience for me, as I was drinking the medicine, I set my intention that I wanted to come back to my divinity. I wanted to move through any blockages, traumas and things with ease and grace, because I was a sovereign being and I was declaring my autonomy. So that was something that a dear friend of mine, because she had just done ayahuasca 2 weeks before we did, that's what she said her part of her intention with working with the medicine was. And so I did that. And so as the medicine started coming on, I was feeling like a little anxious, but I just kept coming back to my heart and knowing that I was loved, I was held, and I was safe. And so like as it came on stronger, I felt like a divine white light through me, and it was like total bliss. I was pretty blissed out, and I was like sighing a lot. I was just like feeling amazing. I had to remember to like breathe, like, because I felt like I could just like leave, you know. But so our maestra was there, and she would sing songs. And then there was a masculine presence that was singing like the Shipibo Ikeros, the music of Grandmother Ayahuasca. And so they really like went well together, because like when they sing the Ikeros songs, those songs activate Grandmother, and she moves through your body finding like the blockages, the trauma, the stuck stuff. And it's like, so for me, I was like, you know, in love, in bliss. And when he would start singing, I would like come over here and I would like work stuff out. It's like, I really didn't have to do anything. It was just doing itself because I allowed it, right? I was just like, the songs were moving things along and getting rid of things from like my physical, emotional, mental, spiritual field. And so he would sing, and it would kind of be like intense, but like you just leaned into it. And then once, you know, it was over, she would start singing, and I would come back into love and like be in this blissful like love place. And so grandmother ceremony is about 6 hours. So you're in the medicine for like 6 hours, like doing your work, like really deeply. And they play music, and I moved my body a lot. Like I was like rocking and moving stuff out of me. And that was really powerful. And so then after a while, they'll call for second cup. And if you want to go deeper in the medicine, you'll drink more. So my first night, I drank a second cup. And I think because grandmother was already in my system, it just activated like quicker. And so then the bliss got more blissful, and it was like kind of intense. Like I never thought like there could be too much bliss, you know, and it was like borderline like too much bliss. Like I am so blissed out. And so for me, like so grandmother ayahuasca is a vine and a leaf, and together they make DMT. And so like I've never done DMT, but I have friends who've done DMT, where like you break through reality, you know, and you start seeing like the spirit world and stuff. After my second cup, I was like right beneath breaking through. And I think I wasn't allowing because of my own fear, you know. And also like there was a lot going on because you're like in ceremony with other people, and you know, people are purging and they're going through their stuff, and I'm really sensitive, and so it was hard for me to like allow myself to let go in a way. Like I kind of wanted like some control, you know. And so I was like right under like breaking through, and I saw like it was like Egyptian like hieroglyph structures. It was like all gold, and it was just like this really beautiful thing. And it was kind of like cloudy because it was just like, you know, I was like right here, and the spirit world was like right here, you know. And so it was sort of like an initiation into like this priestess school work that I'm going to be starting in a couple weeks, especially because I think it's tied into my past life. How I died in ancient Egypt. I was a priestess daughter, and they offed me at age 5. And so like I didn't get to do that, you know? And so it's like the downloads I was getting after my ceremonies, like I was journaling a lot. It's like, this is the knowledge that you need to have right now. And so like in this life, you're picking up where you should have done it in that other life, but you were offed. And like it's interesting because that was the past life I had reoccurring nightmares of when I was from age 3 to 5, of how I died, and I have my birthmark on my side, on my leg, upper thigh. And so it like goes together, and I see that, and I'm very interested in exploring that more, which is really fascinating. And so yeah, that was my first night, and I felt really great. And the next day, because I sat in ceremony 2 days, the next day I had like 7 lower purges. Like I purged so much stuff out of my body that I'm like, how is it there? And traditionally, like people will throw up, like purge in ceremony, and I didn't. Like I was on the cusp of it several times. But our maestra would come around with incense and feathers, and she would, move energy and stuff if she saw that we were like going through something. And what's super interesting for me is because like I saw a glimpse of that like Egyptian mystery school stuff, right? And then like there was this certain incense that she would use. I'm having like crazy goosebumps. That like took me back to Egypt. Like I've never smelled this smell before in my life. I have like the craziest goosebumps, I swear to God. And like she would come with the fan and she'd blow these incense. This one smell just like took me straight to like Egypt. And it was just like the wildest thing. And it's so intoxicating and mystic and like activating. And so that's something I really want to explore some more because, like, holy shit, that was amazing. That smell is, oh. But so that was really interesting. Ceremony was really powerful and magical and mystical. So that was my first night. My second night was kind of more low key. I just drank 1 cup and I wanted to see like the mechanics of how it worked because I experienced it and then I wanted to watch it. So I had like an internal experience the first night and an external experience the second night. So I got to watch how like ceremony works with like, the akiros and the music and like just how like the maestra, and then I guess I'd call him a maestro in a way. They were on the medicine too, but they could see what people were going through, and then they would sing certain songs to help move the energy along, to help clear things, to help purge things, to help, do your work. It's like they say, sitting in ceremony with grandmother ayahuasca is like anywhere from like 2 to 10 years of therapy. It really is like you're doing work. It's an endeavor. Like it's intense and beautiful and magical. So it's like you hunker down and you do the work and you get rewarded, And so at the end of the night, there was like a fire ceremony where we burned things. And so I wrote down like I was burning away my old life because I'm ready to step into my new life. And it was really powerful. Like the fire on the medicine was the most magical thing I've ever seen. It had such a life, such a power. It was really cool. I can't even describe it, There's like no words. You have to experience it. So we did the fire ceremony and I received a beautiful healing. It was like right after 3rd cup. I didn't have a 3rd cup. I was like good because it was hard to kind of move around. Like you'd see people crawling when they needed to go somewhere. I was like camped right next to the fire. And when it was time to like, throw my written intentions and my prayer bundle into the fire, I had to like crawl over there. It was pretty challenging. So yeah, I had a really powerful healing and I got a song, which was just so sweet. And she was singing this song like a lullaby to like my unborn child because I'm not pregnant, but like I have met my spirit baby like almost 3 years ago. And she gave me her entire name. I know what she looks like. I know her energy. She's given me visions of the future. It's really powerful, really wonderful. And so in order for her to come through, because she's from a different star system, I have to raise my vibration, and this was part of the prescription to have her come through when she's supposed to, as well as purge a bunch of stuff out of my body. Lead is the last thing. I'll get to that in a minute. But like, so yeah, it was just this beautiful song, and it's gonna be a lullaby that I sing to her. And I cried, and I felt really healed, and the maestro like worked on my womb space and helped like clean out some more stuff, and it was just a really powerful experience. I 10 out of 10 recommend. Yeah, so the second night I just watched, and that was cool. And my husband and I got to dance, and I really wanted to do that. Because so the first night, grandmother talked to me, and she said the things that are keeping me out of being my divine self is that I need to sing and dance more. Because I'm making art again, which is amazing. But I'm not singing and dancing. And that was my homework. And she also spoke to me and told me like all these affirmations of myself, that I'm beautiful, I'm powerful, I'm sensual, list goes on. And so that was what grandmother like spoke to me and told me. So the second night I wanted to show grandmother and be in right relationship with her that I am going to do my homework. So I only drank 1 cup. They put Bobansana in with the medicine, and I was on a Bobansana dieta for a month. So me and Bobansana have a good relationship. And so I danced, I sang a song, and I'm like doing my homework. I'm listening to you, because you have to be in right relationship with these sacred medicines. You can't just be like, I'm getting high. Like, that's not how it works. You have to, like, they teach you things. They're sacred medicines that have lessons and things to teach you, and you have to be open and willing to like listen and then do your homework, do the work, embodiment. So my second night ceremony was about embodiment. And that's really powerful because I want to be in right relationship, because in my youth I abused marijuana. Like, I smoked cannabis like for 15 years every day with no breaks, and I can't even smoke cannabis anymore because number one, cannabis is of the 4th dimensional frequency, and I've surpassed that. So that's just not in alignment with like my vibrational frequency anymore, and that's okay. But like in my 30s, I want to have respect and reverence for sacred medicines, because they're here to teach us things. And I really feel like where we're at in 2025, there's a reclamation of coming back into a better relationship with Mother Nature, with Mother Gaia, Pachamama. And so we need to have respect and reverence for the planet, for the plants, for the animals, for each other. And I think this is where humanity's at, because these sacred medicines help you remember who you really are, which is divine, and that everybody's divine, and that we're all connected, that we're all aspects of God. And so this is where we're at for like, it's a tool to help you remember who you are and how to, be a sacred being and take care of Mother Nature, take care of the earth, take care of each other. So we should be in right relationship with these things. So yeah, I am very grateful for my experiences. I think moving forward, I'd like to have like a private session. My maestro does like one-on-one sessions, and I think for me personally, I would really benefit from that, so I could do a deep dive, so I could surrender and feel safe and, have my own music going. So I'm creating this sacred portal for just me, and being open to grandmother and the knowledge that wants to come through and what she wants to teach me. I feel like that's something that I would really like to explore. So I'm open to when she calls, and I'll listen. So yeah, that was my experience. And then I think maybe it was 2 weeks after our ceremony, we did our last combo session, which was pretty powerful, because I did a lot of work in my ceremony with grandmother that I peeled back so many layers of the onion. I finally got to like the deepest wound where everything piled on. It's like the thing that I was burying. It was my spiritual wound, which was dimming my light, not accepting my truth of like this really high peak experience that I had in grad school. Like I just denied it, you know? I just sort of like, because of circumstance and things, like I just walked through the world like pretending like I didn't have like a very intense spiritual awakening. I just like denied my truth, you know? And it is my truth, and that's my experience, and it's beautiful and wonderful. And so like it was dealing with my heart, because my heart chakra's been pretty like congested with like stuck energy, and everything just piled on. And so working with grandmother in combo like unpiled things so I could see clearly like, wow, like, and like this wound was just like so exacerbated. And I was just like, okay, so my intention for my last combo session is to clean my heart space. So I have a point, a portal where the medicine went into my heart. And so I had 2 points on my right ankle and 1 point here. And when you put the medicine like on your heart or your back closest to your heart, it hits like that. And it was very powerful. It was very intense. And so my husband and another one of our friends we were in ceremony together, and they both got 5 points each, and I got 3 starting, and then I got a 4th one later on. But they were purging like immediately because the medicine was hitting them pretty strong. And for me, like my purge was crying. Like I did what my maestra saw as like a divine mother, like crying. And it was for more than just me. It was like for everybody. I was like crying the tears for all mothers. Like it was really powerful. I have crazy goosebumps. So it was really powerful and like really intense. I guess my face turned really red, and I was just crying like really hard. So then I cried, and then I was still in the medicine. There was like still more stuff that needed to come up, because I was like cleansing my spiritual wound. I was working on my liver. I have a fatty liver, and like anything else that needed to come out. Like I was letting the medicine kind of do its thing. And so I was in the medicine for a while, and it was just like every so often I'd throw up a little bit, like just a little bit. And then I'd like be in the medicine and I'd throw up a little bit more. And then she put on like a 4th portal on my wrist, and then I was throwing up more. And then it was super wild as I was like throwing up bit by bit, and it was like taking a while to percolate, you know. I threw up this huge like black chunk. And like as it was coming up, my intuition's like, that's from your heart. And it was so wild. And so eventually at the end, I'm like, I think I'm done, because like, you know, I'm just throwing up a little bit at a time. My maestra said that the medicine was just like still searching around and just, you know, finding things to purge. But that black dot was like an entity. I mean, it could have been irregular cells or cancer or a virus or whatever, but like she was like, it's an entity. I'm like, oh shit. So that was kind of intense, you know, and that was my reality. So now we're sort of integrating all of those experiences, and we're still working with Hape. I think we're going to start working with Sananga again. We've taken a break from Sananga. Now we're working with Hape. Hape has taught me lots of things. My husband and I used to smoke cigarettes a lot. I smoked like 15 years of my life, and he smoked a long time too. And so Hape was showing us that we weren't in right relationship with tobacco. And I mean, Mopacho, Hape, tobacco is very different frequency than like Western cigarettes with chemicals and additives. tobacco is a master medicine. He is a grandfather energy. He's very grounding. He's very heart-opening. He's a purgator. He purges, he purifies, he cleanses. He balances the left and right hemispheres of the brain. He cleans out your sinuses. He can clean out your thoughts and negative thoughts and patterns and stuff. And so it's like we had to be dragged and shown that you have to be in right relationship with Hape, with grandfather tobacco energy. And so, yeah, now we are in a better relationship with Hape. And I'm, very honored. I always give some Hape back to the earth after I sit with Hape. It's a very meditative practice. And so I'm having a better meditative practice with Hape. So yeah, now we're integrating and we're doing our homework and just trying to move forward and be better humans. I'm really grateful for my experiences. I'm humbled. I'm honored. I'm in awe. I have reverence. I'm respectful. And I'm really grateful. Really, really grateful. So, yep, that has been my past 2 months. I'm also now a member of the New Zone Art Gallery in downtown Eugene, and my art is there, and I'm on the website, New Zone, and I've been making art. I have been singing and dancing, but I need to do more of my integration homework. So I'd make an art. My husband and I are finally going to be going on our honeymoon. We'll be married 3 years this year. And we're finally going to go on our honeymoon. We're going to go to Mount Shasta in May. And I'm really excited. I've never been to California. And my first visit to California is going to be to Mount Shasta. And we've been watching lots of Mount Shasta documentaries on Gaia. And that's actually what, I felt called to the mountain. Usually, so apparently, when you're supposed to go, you'll feel called. And we watched this one documentary, and I'm like, we have to go there for our honeymoon. That's our highest timeline. And this is I just feel, I feel like we have to go. So we're going to go to Mount Shasta, and we're doing this really beautiful, it's a spiritual retreat with this guy named Paula Venus. And it's activations and with the higher dimensional beings there and ascended masters. And so I'm so excited about going and being in the energy and really wanting to connect with Saint Germain because I channeled the Violet Flame. And oh my gosh, that would just be amazing just to be in his presence and feel his energy. So yeah, we're doing that, and we're still doing community healing night every Monday night at the Trauma Healing Project, and we'll be facilitating this evening. My husband is going to lead a group past life regression and meet your spirit guide, and I'm going to play the bowls. I'm going to accompany him as he facilitates, and it's going to be a really magical experience. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. The energy the last few weeks has been pretty high. I've been really tired. I'm finally recovering, but I think last week I slept 12 hours, 3 days, and then one day I didn't sleep at all, and it was just solar flares, coronal mass ejections, the Schumann resonance spikes were off the chart. It was just crazy. And then last night my husband didn't sleep because a solar flare hit at midnight-ish when we were going to bed, and he didn't sleep. He had he gets crazy headaches sometimes when the energy's really high. So he didn't sleep, poor guy. I slept okay. I was like tossing and turning a lot, and I had like the weirdest dreams. Vivid, really weird dreams. Like, kind of didn't really make any sense at all. Yeah, that's crazy too. After sitting with grandmother ayahuasca, like, I don't have like dream messages of my subconscious anymore. I had them for years. Like, I had like really heavy like subconscious, like all with like past lovers, like exes and stuff, like for years. And then just like doing all of that work with grandmother, like I don't have those dreams anymore, which is like refreshing, but also just like, what do I dream about now? And it's like just the craziest stuff, the craziest weird, like vivid dreams that don't make sense. So, all right, this is where I'm at. I'm also trying to like enhance my dream life by like asking for like information and to go to night school and stuff. So, night school, more work. So yeah, I'm excited for spring to come. I want to have a bigger garden this year, grow more stuff, and I don't know, that's about it. Make art, sing, dance, garden, be outside, be happy. But yeah, I feel good. I feel like 2025 is going to be a really powerful year. I've been watching a lot of like podcasts and things like online on YouTube with like spiritual people. And they say that like this year and next year is like the most important years of our lives. Like so much transformation. I have crazy goosebumps. So much transformation, so much like all of us coming online to like our gifts and abilities even more. Like remembering who we are and that we're like together in this and like coming together and, you know, like systems are crumbling and stuff as they should be. Woohoo! I don't know, like it's interesting because I find myself on a different timeline. Like I don't pay attention to the news. I don't read about like what's going on in the world. Like I see all my friends on Facebook like posting about like all the political stuff and I'm just like, I'm not there. I don't know. It's just like I'm like heaven. I'm like creating heaven on earth and it's like that's not my reality. I mean, everything sucks. I have compassion for what people are going through, but it's like I live in a different world. I don't want to be in fear, you know? I want to like bring in the light codes and like change my life and be, you know, in love. And I don't want to be in fear. That's like, you know, I've come to understand that the powers that be hijack your divinity because you are programmed, because you watch TV programs, because you engage in the narrative they want you to create. So like you create your reality with what you think, you say, and what you do. And so it's like if you're afraid of these things happening and you talk about it and you think about it and then you worry and you're creating that. And so they like hijack your divinity and they make you create what they want you to make. So they're like, you know, programming you. And it's like you gotta at some point like take your autonomy, your sovereignty back and be like, that's not my reality. My reality is that my neighbors are good people. Society are good people. Like people love each other, they care about each other. Like, you know, we're gonna co-create like a beautiful world and we're gonna get through this. And that's who I see in my reality. I like am surrounded in my community with like people that are birthing the new earth. Like we go to community healing night. We go to like these high vibed events and stuff and everybody is like not in fear. Everyone's like doing their work. They're embodying their higher self. They're becoming, they're undoing, they're doing their homework. They're working through, you know, their generational karmas and traumas and moving through their stuff and they're like becoming light beings, in the flesh. And I think that's what it's about. And I feel like people are going to wake up to that because it's about time, and we're not enslaved, we're sovereign. And to be sovereign, you have to embody that, become that, believe that, feel that, be it. So, power to the people. I love you, friends, and I believe in you. And I know that you will wake up when it's time to, and it'll be okay. Okay, so that was my tangent. That was me talking about my past 2 months, and I'm really excited for what this year holds. I'm excited to continue getting in better shape and moving my body more and celebrating myself and loving myself deeper. And I wore my hair down for the first time forever, and I realized my hair is like super long. It like goes past my butt now. Maybe I'll wear it down more. Who knows? But yep. So I love you, friends. You take care. You be well. And oh wait, hold on. We have been. I forgot to mention about the lead thing. There was something that was like, hey, wait. So we have a Rife machine, and we've been working with the Rife machine for almost a year now. It'll be a year in February. We now own one. We were going to a place. And so again, it's RIFE, and we have a device called a Spooky 2, SPOOKY 2, and do some research. I really like ours. It's like a step under the med beds. Like, everyone should have one of these in your home. They have videos and forums and things, so it's like simple to use. It could be overwhelming, but it's simple to use. And so we've been on our healing journey for over a year with that. And my husband just got a new machine because he's doing some other research, and it tells you like all of your stats and stuff. And we found out we have lead in our bodies. And so that's another step that we're working on, to eliminate lead out of our bodies before we can try to have kids. Because again, like a lot of people are not aware of this, but when a woman is pregnant, they pass on their toxic load to their children. And so if you have heavy metals, parasites, pesticides, bad things in your body, they go to the baby and they come out in your placenta. And a lot of people eat the placenta, use the placenta afterwards, because there's a lot of like stem cells and like just so many medicinal benefits to it, right? And so a lot of women, men and women should both be getting very healthy before they have kids. They pass their toxic loads onto their children. And so, like if a child's born with like mercury and lead and cadmium and X, Y, and Z, aluminum, like heavy metals, and then they get vaccinated, which has heavy metals, that's where a lot of problems can come into. We've been doing a lot of research on that. And so, the more you know. I think it's my responsibility as a conscious human being to detoxify my body as best as I can before I have children, especially like having high vibrational children that are very special coming from other star systems to help aid our planet. Like, it's very important to have a clean body, have a clean vessel for your longevity, but also for theirs. You want to give them the best chance that you can. So that was my my segment on lead. So yes, do some research, be vigilant, keep researching. And honestly, like, they discredit conspiracy theorists because they get too close to the unearthing their shit, and like, be educated, like, do your research, don't follow mainstream things, don't listen to what they want you to do, like you're being told to do something. Like, they don't like people that are free thinkers. You need to think for yourself. You need to do your own research. You need to know that the powers that be don't care about you. You are an indentured servant, and you have a choice not to be, and you have a choice to be free, and you have a choice to grow your own food, to nourish yourself, to take care of yourself. So do your homework. I love you, friends. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your month of January, and try to stay calm and do fun things for yourself, and believe that things will get better. Take the power into your own hands, and know that change is good, change is necessary, and like, we're going to come out of this, we're going to be stronger, and we're going to be more united. Love you, friends.